Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Monday, January the 11th market update. On the economic front, we will kick off some economic reports tomorrow actually with international trade. The forecast is for minus 35 billion. The previous was minus 32.9 billion. Alcoa kicked off earnings in its usual lackluster way with earnings per share coming in at 1 cent. Estimate was for 6 cents. It did actually beat on the revenue, coming in at 5.4 billion. The estimate was for 4.82 billion. Last I looked, Alcoa was currently trading down about 5%. We also had a report out of Electronic Arts, ERTS, after the bell that they lowered their guidance, and it was down about 8% last time I looked at it as well. So the dollar and oil were down, and gold, silver, copper were up. Quick look at the UUP ETF we're going to use for the dollar. And you see we're still in this channel down on the dollar, but it did look like it tried to catch itself today. So we'll see if that bottomed at least short term here in the dollar. So if we go back up to here, or we had quite a bit of volume come in, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens on the dollar. But it looks like it wants to stop. It looks like it was caught by the 30-day moving average there. See, light sweet crude futures were down a whole 23 cents to settle at $82.52 a barrel. Take a look at the West Texas Intermediate Crude point and figure chart. You know, we talked about printing 83. We're still stuck right up in here. So we'll see if we come back down or not. There's really no reason for us to keep going up, but I guess it just depends on the dollar, and just see what happens with oil. Let's go take a look at the Dow. Dow closed up 45 points to 10,663. S&P closed up 2 points to 1,146, and the Nasdaq closed down 4 points to 2,312. And the Russell closed flat basically at 643. The Dow had the largest percent gain, up 0.43%, and the Nasdaq was the weakest by being down 0.21%. Take a look at the Dow. MACD is turned up. It's kind of leveling out. You know, I think it looked like we're possibly running out of steam here. I don't know if the Alcoa and earnings will affect us. And I've been talking about this we'll keep an eye on this 5-year. I know we've got resistance here on the Dow. We've got resistance on the S&P. We pretty much have resistance all over the place. Russell, around that 650 or so. So see if we get a little dip. I don't think it'll be anything awful, but we may or may not. All right, let's look at Goldman Sachs real quick. See how the Goldman Sachs actually didn't do that great today. Kind of broke down out of this little tiny consolidation that it's been in. XLF still looks pretty good. Overall, it's not too bad. I think some of the banks performed pretty well today. Take a look at gold. Gold still looks good. Silver still looking pretty good. 9 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The Industrial Transportation Index led again. It was up another 1.15%, and Oil Service Index was the weakest, down almost 1%. Take a look at some charts on ChartWatch. FCX, I still like it. It broke out. It struggled today, but gold and copper were doing okay. So as long as it, especially over today's high of 90.55, I really like it. But I still think it's especially a good long-term hold. Dry ships. I still like this symmetrical triangle dry ships. It started to break out, then it pulled back because the market was so weak, but it was only down, 15 cents, and it's 2%, but it still doesn't look too bad as long as it doesn't take out, as long as it doesn't take out this low right down here. Heat performed well today in that one, like it. Rhino still hanging out, consolidating. I still think you keep an eye on like the 5-minute chart for volume, and you can jump in that over today's high. PNC, it's up there against resistance, but had a lot of volume. It seems to want to go higher, so yeah, you could buy this one over today's high as well, around 58. Capstone, another one in, still looks good. Looks like it has a little pennant here. Seems like it wants to go higher though. I like it. PRGN, shipping company. I like the longer term chart here. It's got this massive symmetrical triangle, so keep an eye on it. I especially like it once it breaks out above this 5 1/4. Should have some good movement. It's been building this triangle for a long time. Joy Global still looks okay. Had some volume coming in on selling, but it's still hanging out up there. Keep an eye on it. EV went higher today. Eaton Vance out of this ascending triangle still looks really good. Wants to go higher. Of course, Apple, it's still hanging out, consolidating. You know, I said its support should be around 208. JB Hunt, most of these off the watch list. Nice volume, wanting to go higher. ArcSight, nice tight consolidation up here. Watch it for higher prices. Intuit, ascending triangle, talked about another one I talked about from the watch list. It seems to want to go higher, had some good volume today. Railroad broke out, come back down to this support area. I like it as well. Atwood Oceanics up against some resistance. I like it over today's high. VMware, another one that broke out. It's kind of tight consolidation. I like it as well. Parker Hannifin just seems to want to go higher. Recent breakout. Amazon, I don't know what it's doing. They were buying it and now they're not, and you know, just keep an eye on it though on the 5-minute and watch the volume. It'll probably turn and go higher at some point. Swift Energy still looks pretty good. It's a symmetrical triangle here. Watch for the breakdown as well, but FMC talked about it on the watch list of this channel. Well, it's breaking down out of the channel with volume, and I would say it has some more room to fall, probably down to about 52.50 if you're looking for a short. NetLogic, I like it. It's been a good strong stock, pretty low risk in this area. Panera gapped higher today. FedEx wanted to go higher. Alchemy, nice tight consolidation up there after a breakout. Very, very bullish. Taiwan Semi, holding at the 30 MA. As long as it doesn't take out today's low, I think it should be good for higher prices. Comtech Telecommunications, nice breakouts, had lots of volume, lots of action. Ag stock, China Green Agriculture, I still like it. Buy it at around, if it breaks out higher than about 018. Hong Kong High Power Technology, nice breakout today with lots of volume. Should go a little higher. Clack up against some resistance, but it looks good. If it can take out probably about 37.50 or so, should be set for some higher prices. Talked about watching Pega on this flag. It did break out of the flag today with lots of volume. NetEase, we played this breakout now, so watch it to base here and watch the 5-minute with volume and jump back on this one. MACD still looks good. It should turn and go back higher. And USU still hasn't gone anywhere. I still like this head and shoulders bottom to it, and it's got support right around there. Still looks good. Let's take a look at the current market signals. Follow the point and figure charts. For the Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, there's really no changes in the charts or anything to look at. We've just been grinding around. And that's really it for today. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest